And we are live.
That moment building up to live is always so
yes,
fun.
it's like, what do I do? Do I say anything? Hello, world. How are you doing today?
What up, y'all?
Like, it's like we talked about last week, and then I pause. Like somebody's gonna say hello.
We just want to give them a chance, just in case they really are out there. Like, yo, what up, Joe? Like,
oh my gosh. Hello, everyone. Again. Welcome to the show. I am Chevy, the superstar, and
I'm Toya.
this is two snaps and a circle.
Shakira. This is a Shakira. So what is a Shakira?
It's a circular.
You know I love a good fake French accent.
It was just a mess up. It was
What up, though, y'all? On this beautiful Thursday. Oh my God. Finally here. Detroit, Michigan, Midwest. Starting to feel like some summer. Like,
is it?
I mean, when I okay, so wake up early. You're like, oh, it's kind of chilly. I should put on a hoodie. And then you come out of the building and it's like, it feels so beautiful. It's so nice. It's just sun, warmth. Like, I don't know. I also live in the upstairs of my house. So we all know heat rises. So when it's hot up here, I mean, it's hot everywhere.
It's up, then it's stuck.
If it's up, then it's stuck. So, I mean, look, it may not be summer in some places, but it's feeling very summery in my room.
Well, I'm in the down part, so it'd be cold down here.
Right.
But it'll be hot. So I mean,
oh my God, heat rises.
Things
and
are happening.
here in the Midwest, I'm not saying y'all don't have these houses in other places, but what is it? Not a raised ranch, but like ranch style where it's like the bigger upstairs and then the bedrooms downstairs. Like we have tons of houses like that in Detroit. And so I just believe like we all know what it means in the summertime to put that fan in the window, put that AC unit in the window. Like it's getting freaking warm.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has been nice this week because the holiday was Monday, and we went to Frankenmuth, and we didn't have to really. I had on my jacket because the sun had went down a little bit, and I felt a little wind coming past me.
That little kick.
Yeah, a little kick, a little breeze. But before that, I didn't have my coat.
Yeah,
and I got hot, and I had to take it off again.
Ain't that crazy?
In the Frankenmuth.
In the Frankenmuth, yeah. Oh, like I had a good time.
We did. We ate a lot of charcuterie.
Yeah.
The coochie board. The shoo-shoo. We had a lot of shoo-shoo. We found this really great restaurant called Prost. And it was specifically charcuterie.
Really? It was all about the charcuterie board.
Yeah, they had like 8 different charcuterie boards from different countries, and then you can make your own. They had a kids one, and they were paninis and shoo-shoo. So we got some shoo-shoo, and then we got some paninis, and we shared everything. And they had like a real mixologist making the drinks and stuff, and they had
that sounds like a real good time though.
Yeah, like, and then they had a happy
if you gonna do it, that's how you do it.
They had $5 old fashions, and you could get it smoked, and they lit the freaking
I love a good
orange peel on fire. Yes, I watched that man make that drink. I said, "Oh my God!"
Now this how you did say that. Yes, it's hitting my mind where you're like, nah, that's how you make
an old fashioned.
No, but I mean, I think that again, when we talk about like when you hit a certain age, like drinking itself isn't enough. Like now it's gotten to a point where it's like I want to try all these different drinks from these different places because I want to see how they're made, who makes them, what makes it different. Like sometimes you have an old fashioned, you're like, God dang, when you have it the right way and the pill and they squeeze it and they, like you're like, dang, I ain't never. Then when they burn, you're like, what? Now that's an old fashioned.
But
and
then
it's just
he took the smoke and he put the smoke on top of it and he put
that's different.
On top and
that's different. Smoke. That's real Sugar House vibes.
Yes. I mean, like, I was like, dang, should I come here for my birthday? And
it sounds like it.
I don't know. It's between that and camping. We trying to get the room though, and they're being very difficult. So it may be Frankenmuth for a night. So Claudia, put that on your itinerary.
Let me add it to my calendar. What's that? The 25th.
Yeah, the 25th.
The 25th. Okay, let me put that on
25th to 26th.
What Money Mike say? He was like, let me check my Palm Pilot. I ain't doing shit. That's good. That's good stuff. Well, what a beautiful way. I mean, drink your old fashions with Chevy and the homies. Like that sounds like the most perfect way to bring in the B-Day. Like
with fired orange pills. I mean, fired orange pills.
Yeah, smoked.
Yeah, you said it better. Pills. You said it right.
Smoked orange pills.
Smoked. in the German country.
For real.
No, because it was funny because it was a sign, when you go in and it say "Welcome in," but in German. And so I kept saying, we'll convene. And then Dion was like, no, because he took German. It's Welcome or some junk like that. And I was like, well, that's a W. And he was like, no, Chevy, no, it's a V. But it's a W. And he was like, but it's a V in their language.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, whatever. I
said, so their W's a V. It's not a V sound. It's just
no.
V.
It's like a V sound. So it's Welcome.
Okay, so okay.
Welcome. Wow. I don't know. Welcome. I am not the one to speak any language that is not English because it's gonna sound like an American is speaking it. Like
I used to tell the kids all the time when I worked in Dearborn, I'm like, look, man, you're Akbar. Like, it's hummus, not hummus. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm American.
Buenos dias. Like,
I'm sorry. I am going everything. To say, like, they were like, no, that's not how you say the name. It's not Ahmed. It's Ahmed. Like, they were like, I'm like, y'all, look, I don't have time for those things. I do want to appreciate the same. And I really did. I try my best to learn. I was like, but at the end of the day, I am very American. And I am just going to say things a certain way. And we're from the Midwest.
Right. So we pronounce everything except for like Kroger's. Well, Kroger, is it Kroger's? Meyer?
Yeah, we put an S. We love to put S's on, like it's Costco's.
It's Verner's. Well, it actually is Verner's, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, it actually is Verner's though. Actually is Verner's though. Like that's real.
Kroger's though. Is it Kroger's?
It's not Kroger.
Oh,
Kroger's. Okay. It's Kroger. It's
Targets. People be saying Target.
We don't say Targets.
No, we don't say Targets. But we say Myers.
But we will say Myers.
No, but when I found out it wasn't an S on the end of Myers, it blew my mind.
Blows your mind. And you pull up and you're like,
oh my God.
It's not a S, apostrophe S, none of that. Like you just go look at all the branding like,
it's not JCPenney's. Oh my God.
It's not JCPenney's. It's just JCPenney. JCPenney.
Oh my God. It
is a Kohl's though.
Yes, Kohl's is Kohl's.
Kohl's is Kohl's, but
yeah. Sears is
Sears. Sears is Sears. It's not just Sears, it's Sears.
Yeah, that don't sound good.
Yeah. Sears. I'm gonna go to Sears. What? I'm about to go to Sears. Woo. Just letting y'all know, I am second week of drinking everything but Patron out of this bottle.
What is it?
This week I have Moscato. We talk about pronouncing things wrong. I'm drinking Moscato.
And Moscato, we probably don't say that right either.
No.
It's probably Moscato.
Moscato. Muscat. Oh. Like what?
Woo! Okay.
Good
guys. We have a little bit of movie news today. You know, movie news was a little bit slow this week. So I decided to add.
Not you, but like just the movie industry. Like,
I mean, sometimes it's hot.
It be like that.
What I'm realizing after, you know, because my sources are, you know, like Rotten Tomatoes, Entertainment Weekly, Variety, IGN, and such and such and such. Shade Room even sometimes. But what I'm realizing is I think Thursday is a hot day for movie news because a lot of the times,
release.
Yes, because a lot of the times before we come on, it's like block, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, yeah,
it's coming in so fast, I can't keep up. So I decided this week, since TV season is over, it's summer, to, you know, just shed some light on some of the shows that are coming back and some of the shows that are not coming back that we didn't know about. Yeah. So with that being said,
I just thought about all the season finales right now and just like, hurt my feelings.
I mean, some stuff got rightfully out canceled though. Like
just gone. Gone.
Like it's like that's it. That's all you get. So with that being said, movie news. Emotes in the chat. Pow. All right. So this is in no order. I just put it down on my little notes here. So Jonathan Myers from Lovecraft Country has been cast as the adversary in Creed 3. I loved how they wrote that.
Yeah. It made you like, oh, what's that mean?
He the bad guy.
Oh,
but he might not be the ultimate bad guy.
Oh, yeah. That's why you had to look it up, because you're like, oh, you're not the villain. But what's the adversary though?
Yeah, like so he's gonna stand in the way.
Yeah,
but he's not gonna be.
Look, when I saw that, I just imagined like the jaded dude who was like, I had a chance, but you took it from me. Now I'm here to kick your ass. And then they have like this good moment, like
I don't even hate you, man.
Where they train, where they end up at the same training place, and it's just like, dude, man, like it's just been hard as fuck for me, dog.
Yeah, and you know, like, now I understand like where you're coming from, because I'm coming from the same place, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know why we're like.
I don't know why
black men.
I don't know why we're mocking black men like as like, if they're like some surfer dudes, right. but just like that mentality made me feel like dog,
that's how like if I was not speaking my feelings, bro. Like I'm telling you, dude. Like
I'm not here to hurt you, bro. Even though I've been hurting you, bro, I'm not here to hurt you, bro. Because I know what it feels like to come from where you came from, bro.
That's just the voice we chose.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna go through these canceled and renewed shows that matter to me and us and in the world. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, there's a lot of shows that were renewed, so I'm not going through that list. If you like to, you can Google canceled shows, and Rotten Tomatoes will pull up, because they always have a comprehensive list of every show that's canceled and every show that is renewed. So Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix has been canceled after 1 season. That's why I didn't watch it, y'all. Everybody like, it's so good, I want to watch it. I watched the trailer. I knew it was getting canceled.
Bye, gone, see you later.
A Black Lady sketch comedy show has been renewed for a 3rd season.
Let's go!
As it should, because it was only like 8 episodes, and that kind of pissed me off. 911 has been renewed for a 5th season. If you didn't know, now you know.
Angela.
Yes.
I mean, when do you get Angela Bassett on TV with a short do?
They
Come
just
on, now.
finally got her hair right though. So
Thank God.
it took the whole 4 seasons. And it only got right in the last 3 episodes.
Oh man.
A Discovery of Witches, which is on Shudder for me, but I believe it's on, I can't think of the station. But it was renewed for a 3rd season, so now I can go finish watching the 2nd season because I was kind of like iffy on whether or not it was going to be renewed. But since now it's renewed, I can go finish watching it. It's a good show. It's about witches, vampires. It's pretty good.
Yeah, can never go back.
Black AF has been renewed for a 2nd season. I know a lot of people didn't know. It's been up in the air about that. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we will get a 2nd season of that show. But the 8th season will be the final season of Blackish. And I'm really, really mad about this.
Yeah.
Mixed-ish has been canceled.
Bruh, that wasn't right. That was wrong.
No.
They were just like, I felt like Mixed was just kind of getting there. Like,
this is the greatest show. And Mariah Carey is singing the theme song.
Is she really?
Stop us, but they can't stop us. Cause we got a love that keeps rising up in the mix. Yes!
In the mix. I never watched Mixes, but
that's why it's getting canceled, Toya. I'm sorry. That wasn't for you. That wasn't for you. That wasn't for you. That wasn't for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It just kind of just
word vomit. I'm just mad. Yes. I'm just mad.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry. I am sorry for not watching. That's my bad. It's my bad. I was watching Grownish. Sorry.
I don't watch that no more. I like Mixed-ish better, but now it's gone. As I continue. Claws has been canceled.
Oh, dang. I'm sorry to see that go.
The Crown will end at the 6th season.
Wow. I mean,
Dead to Me will end at the 6th season. The Equalizer has been renewed with Queen Latifah.
Really? Kudos to her. Congratulations. The Queen.
Yes, the Queen. It's actually not that bad. You just got to keep watching. After that first episode, it's pretty
just
good.
Get over the hump. Like,
yeah, I like it. Oh, I just heard Jarrell hear me say that The Crown is ending at the.
Look, I was trying to figure out, like, is he talking about The Crown or Equalizer? Which one could he be worried about?
Devastated him.
Like, I'm telling you, people come here for the movie news. Niggas need to know. Niggas need to know. And when niggas find out, it'd be sad.
Okay, so he's not gonna like this either. I don't want to say it. F is for Family will end with the 5th season.
I'm just saying for you, real 7. Oh, ain't that a bit? Ain't that a blip? Not Claws, right? But it's like taking all of Jarrell shows.
Yeah, they are. When I was getting the list, I was like, dang. He is just not gonna be happy. Right.
This is the season of TV ending.
Yes.
Like, and it is like season finale, series finale. It's gonna be one of the two, baby. Or just straight cancel, just like you said, just straight cancel. Like, it was a season finale, and guess what? Gone. Never see it again. Never see it again.
So F is for Family will end it with the 5th season. Grace and Frankie will end at the 7th season. His Dark Materials on HBO will end with the 3rd season. Rebel.
Wow, they got to 3 seasons. Wow.
Rebel was canceled after the first. I don't even know if they finished the season. And The Twilight Zone is canceled.
Aw, sorry, Twilight.
Well, if they would have made it available, for everybody to watch on a normal television station instead of their streaming app.
Oh, really? I
And
didn't
I
know
would
that.
watch it because I
I
watched
didn't
the
know
first few
that.
episodes and it was actually pretty good. But because I didn't have access to it, I couldn't watch it. So I didn't watch it. I was
Yeah.
very excited for that, especially since the Twilight Zone guy was Jordan Peele. I was super excited about it.
You
The
know what? BET was doing that with a lot of their content and things that I was interested in watching. They make only available through their BET Plus streaming service, and it was just kind of like,
you can't do nothing with that.
I
You
can't do
can't do
nothing
nothing
with
with
that.
it.
Like, if you're already paying for BET through cable, why would I
You
go?
should already have access to the app.
I
Period.
should already have access to those things.
I should only
So,
have to go log in.
period.
Well, that was my list of canceled and renewed shows that mattered to Two Snaps in a Circle. If you would like to find out more about shows that have been renewed and have been canceled, you can go to Rotten Tomatoes and they have a very comprehensive list, as I stated prior. Anyway, some more movie news. There was a movie trailer that dropped today starring Hugh Jackman, Thandie Newton, and Rebecca Ferguson,
Okay.
who also star in The Greatest Showman. And
Hey.
Dr. Sleep, she was a never, her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Called Reminiscence.
Hey.
It looks like it's about a New York that is being overtaken by water, because as they say, New York is supposed to be overtaken by water in California when the plate tectonics shift. Anyway, and there is some type of way Hugh Jackman runs a company that deals in nostalgia, and it can go into your mind and bring these nostalgic memories back to your life because life is so terrible now that the world is being taken over by water and that there's a war. So people pay him so they can relive moments of nostalgia. And Rebecca Ferguson, who kind of played his love interest in The Greatest Showman, is now playing a love interest that he's trying to figure out how they disconnected and why, because he can't remember. And Thandie Newton is like, no. And then they start shooting, and I don't know. So we'll have to see.
That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. It like's giving me like Running Man vibes. Like, is that Running? No, not Running Man. What's the other Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where they go to like Mars and
Total Recall?
Total Recall. That's my jam. Like,
Total Recall is the jam.
Like the jam.
We need to watch Total Recall. We need to watch both of them.
We do. I've never watched that.
You never seen the one with
I think
Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell.
I think I tried, and I went.
And my girl Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, I went. And sometimes I won't say that it's the movie that makes me go. It's just the timing sometimes, and then I never go back. And then I'm like, well, I fell asleep on that whole ass movie. I ain't going back. But I have to give it a chance. I get
it. I get it.
Yeah.
So they have been releasing like actors from the movie Borderlands that is currently shooting, starring Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kate Blanchett, and many others. They've been releasing their silhouettes to show what characters they're playing. So that's pretty cool. If you want to see them, you can go on Rotten Tomatoes. They have all 6 of them that have been released. So that's pretty cool. They gave us release dates for American Horror Stories on July 15th, and they gave us release date for American Horror Story double features on August. Double feature. There go with my Michigan, putting that S on there. It releases on August 25th, and it will release on FXX Hulu exclusive, in addition to on FXX and FX on cable. So if you have Hulu and you don't have cable, hey, it's gonna be available for you that morning. Like some other advantage. Yeah, so I really like that. Also, they have dropped the release date for the next season of Archer, season 12. It also drops on August 25th. I really don't know if what's her name who passed away is going to be in this season. I hope that she is, but it's also going to be so sad if she is.
Ooh.
I'm about to look up her name because I can't remember it at this moment.
Dang.
I will tell you in a moment.
That's why I want
Jessica Walter.
I don't know who that is.
She played the mom on Arrested Development. She It's on Archer. If I show, look her up.
Yeah, she'd probably okay.
But she died earlier this year or last year, and it was earlier this year, and it made me really sad. It really hit me in my feelings.
That's sad.
Because I really enjoy her. But hopefully because they lost. That's the second person they lost on that show. Another actor, a voice actor, died on that show, and also just in general, like John H. Benjamin, he does the voice of Bob on Bob's Burgers, and they've also lost someone that was very pivotal to the design of the show. So, yeah. Anyway, R.I.P. peoples. Seth Rogen's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I've never actually actively tried to say that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I kind of just always just.
Yeah, you just kind of like Samuel L. Jackson. Like,
you just jumble together. I've never
like NLP.
I've never actually actively tried to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I still ain't.
I almost said that shit like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a half shell. Turtle power.
Yeah, turtle power.
The film will be releasing in 2023. I love how I misspell words in my notes. It makes me laugh. Thor Love and Thunder has wrapped filming, and that's great. And Chris Hemsworth looked amazing. Very buff. Always looked amazing. Warner Brothers and Discovery, they merged recently, girl.
I don't know. I just sneaked him, and it's just like fine.
He is. Warner Brothers and Discovery have merged, and they just dropped their new name, Warner Bros. Discovery. You don't like it?
I don't.
Well, that's the name. Deal with it.
Like maybe Discovery Warner Bros. But Warner Bros. Discovery.
Well, Warner Bros. bought Discovery, so they get the top bill.
It just stay Warner Bros. Like, don't.
What about WBD?
Period.
WBD.
WDB.
WBD.
Oh man.
So Tiffany Haddish will play Florence Flojo Joyner in a biopic. How do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
Okay, so Tiffany Haddish just doesn't like. I hated this for a long time, being a phys ed major and wanting to go into physical education, and like I don't know, maybe it's because we were trained at one point in time to like tell people, like when people would say I'm not athletic, and training, like telling people like that's not the case. You do have athletic abilities, right? I'm sorry. I just don't. Yeah. I just don't see it.
You don't know her life. She could be like an athlete.
I don't know her life. I don't know Tiffany Haddish's life, but I feel like.
Ooh. Well, there you have it.
Right. I don't think I need to say anything anymore. She doesn't have the range. I don't believe she has the range to play what I have known of FloJo. Like the gracefulness that she has had, the amazing like athlete that she was. Like I don't see Tiffany Haddish really. Yeah.
Well, bless you, first of all.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry that you feel that way. You did. I said what I said.
But what you said, Tiffany Haddish, what you said was some bullshit. I have the range. Tiffany, you don't, sweetheart. She was like, bitch, my book is in the back. I got that for Christmas.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, my last thing is just a discussion. It is movie news, but it's also a discussion. Have you seen this? Have you read about this? Have you heard this? Movie theaters will now allow vaccinated guests to go maskless. How does that make you feel? Chat, chime in. How does that make you feel?
I want to know, will you not have sticky floors anymore? Like, will you be cleaning? You like, see, my thing is, everybody wants to make a big hoopla about like, I want to go maskless, and I feel you, but like, are people gonna clean up? Are people gonna be more sanitary? And my thing is, let's not forget there are other things that spread other than COVID. And I'm not trying to like brush that to the side, like COVID is not a big deal. And yeah, I'm just not comfortable being inside a room of people that I don't know personally without a mask just yet. Like,
Yeah.
especially when under 50% of people are vaccinated. So
yeah, well, I agree. When we were in Frankenmuth, there were because the further you go up in Michigan, the less restrictions there are. And this was before the first, because the first was on Tuesday.
Yes.
So with that being said, when we went to Frankenmuth, there's a lot of people without a mask. And a lot of people in establishments without masks because they no longer mandated a mask out there. Now, certain stores would tell you, "Yo, you got to put on your mask," and they'd be like, "Well, none of the other stores made me," but it's to the determination of the store.
Yeah.
So we went to one restaurant and we sat outside. So whatever, who cares if you have on a mask? Because we all distance enough from each other. But we went to another restaurant later that night, and we saw a lot of the workers where this person had a mask, but this person didn't have a mask. But then there's one guy, he had on a mask and he didn't have on a mask. And I was like, see, he's the one. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who's probably not vaccinated, but because the rules are laxed, he took off his mask because he couldn't find it. Then somebody said, "Hey, you're not vaccinated. You need to put on your mask." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot." You know what I'm saying? So he can still spread COVID. The people who have been vaccinated can still get COVID, and they can still spread COVID to people who do have the vaccination and the people who don't. And that's where my issue comes with the no masks rules. I mean, it got to a point where we were walking around in the store, and my stepmom, who is vaccinated, couldn't find her mask. And we went in the store, and she was like, "I can't find my mask, and they don't have on their mask, so I'm not going to put on my mask." And that's nothing wrong, because she is fully vaccinated. But what if I would have done that? Not only am I risking my life, but I'm risking other people's lives as well. So, I mean, I can go to the movies because I just saw my friend. She went to the movies today and it was only them. You know what I'm saying? But what time do I have to go?
What time? and like, dang, I pull up and I see that certain, it used to be like, I'm looking for the most amount of seats. Like, I don't give a F. I just need to know that me and my party can be in there. And now it's like, I just want me and my party to be in there. And that's all. I want it to stop at that point. And to me, it's like, I'd rather just pay the bread to have it at the crib or wait a little while to wait at home. Projector, big TV. I mean, bathroom breaks, pause it for me. Like,
yes, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful blessing. It's a beautiful blessing. They should never let us start watching movies at home because it's a beautiful blessing.
Yeah.
You can drink. You can, if you smoke, you can smoke. If you want some food, you can go get it. You can yell as loud as you want at the screen.
Man.
And you can pause it and go to the bathroom.
And if I didn't understand something, I could run it back.
And you can put subtitles on. And you can put subtitles on.
Run it back. Yo.
Well, guys, let me know. Like, do you ever plan on going back to the movie theaters, chat? Do you ever plan on like experiencing that? I mean, I would love to experience it, but I also bought a projector. So, I mean, that's what I did in the pandemic because
let's go. Hey, I was already drinking up in that thing. I was already up in that thing drinking anyway.
Whole beers and a bottle cap opener to the and popcorn in a Ziploc.
Oh man, don't let me go to Dollar Tree before I go to the movies.
I was that person popping bottles myself in the movie theater, pouring it in a cup. What is Zola? What is Zola?
Oh, that is the Twitter thread story that went viral about the girl. Yeah, she went to Florida. I want to see Zola, but yeah, Stacey, if you're doing that, I'm with it. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. And when I get home, I'll burn my clothes that I wear at home.
Well, guys, that was movie news.
Damn. That was fire.
Yeah.
Fire. That was good. That was good. That was good. All right, you ready to get on into it? Wow. This is one we're doing something a little different. How can I put this? It's we're veering away from our actual theme this month, but the cool thing is this is someone that is close to us and someone that, you know, one just is dope to review independent film. We've been doing mostly like feature length films that are super popular. Everyone's seen classics in some people's eyes. And so to do an independent feature film from someone that we know personally is a pretty big deal. And so, and we want to put that energy out there. We don't just want to make it seem like it's just any old thing, but we're going to treat this review as such. So I'll go ahead and read what this amazing film is about. It's called Affliction. It is in, so the synopsis goes a little something like this. In the search for himself and his artistic pursuits, a young Black writer, Antoine Gordon, Jr. stumbles upon a reality he chooses to ignore while also ignoring his mental health. It is written and directed by Charles Kennedy Jr., the homie Chuck. A lot of people affiliated with this that I know: Misfitted Academics, the homie Z, DP. This is the Rastafari brothers, known as Zach and Charles, and yeah, it's just kind of like the hometown hero type vibes where it's like somebody from around the way put something out that's worth watching, and it's so much worth watching that they extended it past the weekend for you all to view for the next day or so. I mean, if you're just finding out now, you have until tomorrow to rent Affliction and watch. But if you have watched and you have rented it, you've watched it multiple times, and I'm excited to get into this. So how you feeling? How you feeling about Affliction? Like,
I mean, I liked it.
Yeah.
The way it rounded out, I liked it.
Mm-hmm. I feel the same exact way. Like, you know, it's like when you go into most indie films, right? You understand that the things that you'll see in a, you know, The Greatest Showman on Earth, or something that you'd see on a classic, like I don't even know what to think of at the moment, but you're like, you already know what your expectations are because it's an indie film. You know that these people are coming out of pocket or where they raise some money and they're just doing it for the like true love of film, you know, kind of like while we're here. And so you go in with that little bit of grain of salt, right? But then there's moments that it's like, I forgot the fact that these people know what they're doing. These people that are writing, directing, the people that are behind the scenes, they understand how to get the watcher, the audience into it. And definitely was thrown for a loop. So the film starts off like pretty, you know, simple, right? You know, you're dealing with a normal dude who's just like,
it did not start off simple, Toya. He was talking to himself from jump.
Okay. Well, who doesn't talk to themselves?
Not talking back, honey. No.
I talk back to myself.
If you talk back to yourself, you need to go talk to somebody.
No, because sometimes, look, you talk out loud and then you're like, nah. What we're not gonna do today is that. What we're not gonna do today is that right there. You have
no, that's different. He was having a full conversation with himself. Like it was another person in the room. If you would have walked in, and this is the beginning of your shift, and you was like, oh,
who are you talking to?
Yes, pretty much. No, it did not start off normal. It started off like, oh, so he talking to himself. Okay. All right. Like full combo. Okay. Okay. All right. Where we going? What we doing?
But I guess like that's the part that felt like if that's the way they're starting off, then this must be normal. This must be the norm. Like this is the way people talk to themselves.
This is the way he talks to himself.
This is the way that he speaks to himself. And Antoine like always had this uneasiness about him, like throughout the film. Just like
like with this.
Yeah, like, are you okay, my guy?
But it was internal.
Oh, completely internal. So it was hard to feel. It was people who were on the outside of him. I felt like they knew something was different. They knew something wasn't like right there. Because what I don't want to do is like say things like normal or regular. But those are the type of pieces of word, like the words that kind of come to my head when you think about somebody who talks to themselves in that way. If you were to catch them in that place, right? Like, wow, you're really talking to yourself.
Yeah. I mean, for him, it was normal. For us, it wouldn't be normal. Hence why he didn't do it in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole reason why he didn't do it in front of people, because he knew that it wasn't normal. Well, I'm not even going to say normal, not accepted.
Yeah. Not accepted because, as you said, maybe I was.
Yeah, because I'm like, girl, no. No. If you would have walked in that church.
But that's what I'm saying.
And you saw him talking to himself, you would have been looking just like the man who caught the tail end of it. Like, hey, Anton, are you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. All right. Well, you bet them floors look good though, but you be tripping, bro. Go ahead, go home. You've been just like that.
See, I just guess that's like the friendliness in me is like, yeah, man, you keep talking to yourself, bro.
No. I mean, yes, but no. I mean, no. I mean, for most people, that's a hard no.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard no, and they would stay away from that person because they don't get it, Yeah, and I mean, in a sense, it's not something that they would get or should get, because he should have been taking his medication at the end of the day. And I get it, and I get that as well, why he didn't take his medication, because I know of someone who is, well, I'm jumping ahead. So
yeah, just a little bit.
Go ahead.
But okay, well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, like the first 20 to 30 minutes of the film plays like this. Him having these out loud conversations with himself, of course, as the audience, we hear what's actually being said, but for someone who walks in, they just hear his voice speaking to himself. And it's happening when he's at work. It's happening when he's in the store. It's happening when he's with friends or family and has a moment to himself. Anytime he's alone, this person, this voice,
or not even,
that we come to find out is named Jonas, we find out, oh, wow, he not only has a name for it, they have a voice, they have a personality, he sees it. He acknowledges all of those things. And then you're like, and then that's when a person like myself can finally admit, like 25, 30 minutes in, like, oh, Antoine,
child, look,
this is not okay.
He went to sleep that first time. And I said, is he in the mental institution? Like right now? And I said, because like I told you, these are psychological thrillers are something that I enjoy.
That's your
I
jam.
enjoy them because I have to figure them out. By the end, I want to Shutter Island. I knew he was in there the whole time. I want to be the one to say that. Sixth Sense. I knew he was dead the whole time. I want to be the one to say that. That's me. I want to figure it out.
Yeah.
So when I watch a movie that is telling me there is something there that I need to figure out, I'm trying to figure it out. Why is he wearing this gray shirt the whole movie? He don't have no other clothes.
Movie.
Oh no, it's because he was actually.
It took me a second to realize. I was like, my God, like for somebody who carries around a book bag all the time, like you ain't got an extra shirt in the back. Like what? Why are you, because I had to stop it, again, back to like the benefits of watching at the crib. Hold on. Did a day pass or no? No, that he went to sleep, bruh.
No.
Why does he have on the same clothes every day?
It was done on purpose for the puzzle person like me to say. But see, where I got lost in the sauce is when everything was too real. Like, so you have Jonas. You have Antoine. That's his name, right?
Yes.
Young man working a job, dead-end job. Seems like he's a nice guy. Trying to be a writer.
Yep.
Got denied. He has a voice in his head telling him he's nothing, telling him he's never going to be anything, telling him that he's just not good enough. He has a mom. He has a sister. His sister is a realist, but she also loves her brother. Right. The mama is just a jaded woman. You know what I'm saying? So, your
daddy ain't shit, so you ain't shit.
Pretty much. But in turn, you the whole movie, when he interacts with his mom, you're trying to figure out, like, was he on drugs? Like, did he because him having a voice in his head is no different than us having a voice in our head, right?
Right.
Everybody has a voice in their head. We talk out loud to ourselves all the time. So you say in your head, like, he goes to work. He seems like he's a pretty nice guy. Right. Why is his mom so hard on him? What has he done to her? Was he on drugs? Was he a bad dude? Because everybody tiptoes around him like something
like
wrong.
Is he a bum? Like what is wrong with him? Like what did he do wrong?
Yeah. What did he do wrong? Why does everybody tiptoe around him? Why is everyone always questioning him, who he is as a man, who he is as a person? Why? Eventually, you find out he's
dealing with some serious issues.
He suffers from schizophrenia, and he creates a persona to justify his mental illness in Jonas. And by doing so, he gives Jonas the power to be the more domineering personality inside of his brain and his body.
Yeah.
And he's constantly fighting with him, but also he feels as if he is less of himself without him, so he does not take his medication.
Right.
So with that being said, that's where the issues lie, and that's where the drama is created in the film, because he doesn't take his medication, And it all comes to a head because not only is he not taking his medication, but he does not eat well. He is abusing substances.
Yep.
And you can't do that when you got someone in your body telling you that they're stronger than you.
Yep.
Because if you, I mean, I know this movie was trying to do two things, showing that like mental health is important and you need to get help.
I was just about to ask, like, what do you think?
But also it spoke to religion and how religion can be the demise of that help in a way. You know what I'm saying? But it's no different to me than watching a horror film and someone is possessed, like Paranormal Activity, and you watch them fight until the end, and then they give up and give the demon the power. Spirit, yeah. And if you're inebriated and you have another version of yourself inside of yourself trying to fight to be at the head, if you drink, if you smoke, we are no longer in full control of our bodies if we drink and we smoke. But if we had another person inside of us trying to be the one that's at the forefront, then that definitely would allow for them to take that spot.
Yeah. Well, so here's my question. Do you believe that Antoine was like a slave to that, where, you know, he's like, yeah, he was fighting, but was it some part of him that would rather have Jonas take the lead on certain things?
I mean, I think that Jonas manipulated him to believe that he wasn't, and I mean, Jonas is him and he is Jonas.
Yeah.
But this part of him made him believe that he couldn't do it without him. So yes, in a sense, yes. But he knew that because from his childhood to an adult, every time Jonas stepped in, something bad happened, right? Yeah. So because of that notion, he knew that Jonas couldn't be in control because he felt as if something bad was going to happen if Jonas was in control. And I honestly noticed in the film, every time he went against what Jonas said, he made progress in his life. He told him not to ask dude for assistance with being a part of the script writing or getting his script looked at by the guy.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have did that, that wouldn't have happened. He told him not to call the girl because the girl didn't really like him and she thought he was miserable. But then he called her and found out that she actually really does care about him. And she probably would have dated him and been with him if he didn't have a episode at the party. You know, so it's like the voice in his head wanted him to be isolated and by himself. So in turn, he could be in control because he knew that if he got him isolated, that he could take over because he would have given up. But whatever was in him still felt as if he wanted to be the forefront of his life. So he still pushed past whatever Jonas was trying to tell him.
Yeah. So as we move through the film, you know,
oh shoot, wait a minute, I am getting money.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, I don't know what, I still haven't really figured out what bits is, but you got a lot.
Well, thank you.
Right. Thank you, Stacey J. Thank you, Clark Novian.
I was in my talking.
Right. You was in your bag. For sure. But then, I mean, okay, so with that said, okay, so for those who watch, for those who know what happened, you know, like Chevy said, we find out that Antoine is schizophrenic, and in fact, this whole time we've actually been he's been in the hospital. He's been in the psychiatric ward, I guess you would say. Like, so what did we just see? What did we just encounter? Did we see Antoine's life? when
he
before he got to whatever was the worst moment, and then now he's in the hospital, or was
this all a dream?
Was this all just like the things that you see when they show award, right? And you see the person in the corner talking to themselves or up in the sky, and you're like, what's happening with them? Did we just see a visual representation of what actually goes on in Antoine's head when Jonas takes over and life just happens?
Well, I think it's I feel as if it's the second one. And you want to know why I feel as if it's the second one? Is because at the end you have that Wizard of Oz moment where you were there and you were there and you were there. So it's kind of like
that's what I like. Yeah, I like that.
And then it's like, well, he couldn't have been out in the world. He had to be in here because that's not his mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's not his sister. Mm-hmm. The white guy that he saw in his dream, that he saw at the club, that gave him the
staff member. Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? So he had to be here. He been wearing this gray shirt this whole time because really it was a stretch out collar for me that got on my nerve. So that's why I kept noticing the shirt. Like, okay, y'all want me to know that something's going on with him in his damn gray shirt because y'all sure did stretch out this damn collar. So y'all want me to know that something's going on with this shirt. So y'all got my attention because now I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on. But they did a really good job of making me say, okay, well, maybe he really is out here living his life because this is too real.
It was so real. I mean, even down to the party environment where like that one guy that that doesn't smoke or drink a lot, he like lets loose and you the one who gave it to him, and then like he starts to freak out or things start to happen. You're like, whoa, dang, I had to like switch up the whole vibe with the party because you over here freaking out. Like you are really going through it.
You got to be careful with peer pressure. You don't really know what somebody is going through. And, I've heard stories. I know people who have siblings that went to a party one night and that was their first time having a drink because of peer pressure. And now because somebody laced something with drugs, they are paranoid schizophrenic because of the side effects of the drug. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like peer pressure needs to die because you don't know what somebody is going through. You don't know what somebody is dealing with, and you could push them over an edge and not even know because you just want to see them in a different light because
you just want to have a good time.
Yeah, you want to laugh and joke and say, remember that time you got so drunk? You know what I'm saying? And that's cool if you know the person. But even
that's cool if they wanted it.
Exactly, that too. But it's like even then, everybody got their levels. And hopefully a person knows their levels. But I'm sorry. Generally speaking, in my opinion, if you allow for peer pressure to get you, then you don't know your levels.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
you're just going with the wind.
You're just going with the flow.
But it makes me think like, okay, so yeah, the bomb is dropped. Oh my God. He done imagined like ain't nothing.
No, I love that scene though. I love that scene.
Oh, it's so
because
good.
Jonas came in.
It's just so good the way they just like flip you like, oh, you thought you knew? Pow! Like
I didn't know. See, because it was an indie film, I didn't know if they were going to do that.
Yeah.
So when they did it, I said, yes. All these people that can be done even without a budget or even without a big budget.
Yeah, said, no budget, low budget coming through. Because look, and we are not throwing shade. We are not being like, no, that's not happening here. Like we know for a fact what went into this film, and the people behind it will stand behind it as well. That like, yo, it doesn't take a huge 1 million co-signed by Hollywood, type vibe to create something like this, to tell a good story, to flip somebody on their back, to switch the swag up just when you thought that you had, like, just when you thought, you know, you start to, you root for Antoine. I just want him to like make it through a day without letting Jonas kick his ass.
It's just got to a point with me with with Anton, that I was just like, you need to figure out what you need to do to, you can't fight somebody that's not there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fight someone that's not there.
Yeah.
When are you gonna stop and say, hey, weed ain't doing it, this ain't doing it, that ain't doing it, eating it away, drinking it away, smoking it away? When are you gonna say, hey, okay, I'm tired of this dude telling me what to do, because every time I do what he tells me not to do, things progress.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when he got to that party, he just kind of said whatever and did what he did, and what happened, because he forgot what was going on inside of himself.
Yeah, it's almost like he was enjoying his victory too much. Like, it's like, I got over the hump, I'm good. Let me just see what it's like.
Let me just do what to be normal, in the sense of what normal is considered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I love that scene, not only because of the little double vision moment, but also because of the dream sequence and the flashback and the father. If it's one character that truly showed me on this film, it was the father.
Mm-hmm.
I think whomever the actor was who played him did a wonderful job.
Oh man, I feel like when you go to Affliction movie on Instagram, you can find all the amazing actors and people that are involved with this. Like, just for real, like, great, amazing talent from the city of Detroit and the greater, like, Detroit, Michigan area. Like, yes, but like, kudos to them, like, for real. And I agree.
He played that character so well.
He did great.
Being a Black father who was in turmoil himself, love on his son, understand his son, hear his son when he was a war vet who was suffering from probably PTSD, depression, because he couldn't get a job, because he probably got injured and then he got discharged and couldn't get work. So now he doesn't feel fully as a man. His wife has found solace in church, does not want to fix her home or her broken family. And I mean, I'm a church, or was a church goer. I mean, it's women like that in every church. My pastor used to talk about women like that who spend 3 and 4 and 5 days in the church, but don't want to come home and deal with the issues at home. That's a real thing. And he was abusing alcohol and weed and drugs and junk food, but she was abusing the church and going to the church and doing what she was doing at the church instead of dealing with the issues at her home. God don't want you to come here and not fix what's at home.
Correct.
God don't want you to do that. If you got diabetes, you can't do the Davis fast. If you got issues, and you know what I'm saying, it's just things that you can't pray. You can pray. I'm not saying you can't pray, but if you hear voices that you talk to, you pray that you can find someone who can help you. You don't pray the voices away.
Correct. And that is the thing that I think is so hard with mental health to really accept. That is the hardest part for people to accept. Once you've been diagnosed with whatever mental illness that you have been diagnosed with, or whatever components of mental illness that you may feel, because we all have anxiety and we feel uneasy about certain things and have emotions towards stuff, like, is the acceptance of that. When this happens, I feel this way. And just like you said, it's not about praying it away, wishing it away, hoping it away, ignoring it away. It's not going anywhere, because it is something in you.
Exactly.
It is something in you. So what you have to do is acceptance, like accept it and go and accept with some type of placement of like, okay, this is what's happening. What can I do about it?
And I mean, but it's hard when you don't have people in your life that acknowledge
Correct.
it in a way that make you, if you heard voices and your mom made you feel bad about it, you would hide it.
Oh, I'll never mention it again.
You would not seek help. You would
No.
think that you're a pariah and something is
Mhm.
wrong with you. And in the grand scheme of things, somebody will say that something is wrong with you because they don't understand that people suffer from mental illness. But
Right.
in another grand scheme of things, somebody else will tell you this is no different than anything else.
Yep.
This is how you need to deal with it. And we are here to help you deal with it.
Yep. This
And
is
that's also a disclaimer. I just want to throw this out here. I'm not saying that church is the reason, because church is not the reason why
no.
people have these thoughts or head in their head. I'm not saying most pastors will tell you to go to the doctor, but my former pastor would told you to go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? It's not the church. A pastor can preach from the pulpit, from the Bible, with the word, and be plain and clear about what he's saying. But the cult, a cult leader is a cult leader.
Yeah.
They do what they do. A pastor is a pastor. They do what they do. Now, what the people do in that church and that take that word, they can make their own cult. They can make their own version of what they think is right and wrong because it's subjective.
Yeah.
But as a people, it's not always the church that's delivering this information to the point where you gotta get exercised or pray it away or blah blah blah. Sometimes it's just that person's take on what was given to them. And I believe truthfully that was the mom's take on what was given to her.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, was that like a little play on things, like the fact that he actually worked at a church, but then of course, like the only time you see him at the church is late at night. No one else is there, not anyone from the congregation, not anyone from the I'm not sure what you would call like people who are deacons and pastors, but anybody from that part.
But that's probably their church. That's probably the church she's been going to her whole life.
Yeah. So it's like it makes me think, like, was that kind of just like almost like a little Easter egg of the thing, because we're going to speak from a true place and a place that we know very well from being Black, is that we know in our community we're not good at that. We're not good at that.
No.
And so and when things are bad in life, that's who we turn to. We turn to our Lord and Savior. We turn to God. We turn to church. We turn to Jesus, and we turn to the Bible to get us through. And I am not saying that is not a way to go. That is not someone and something to turn to, because I believe strongly in the beliefs and the faith that you can have in religion, right? But in terms of just the pure logic of getting some help
was exercise, pray it away. Not, well, let me take my son to the pastor to see what my pastor has to say and to see if they have any connections in therapy to see if they can assist. But I also will say that it speaks to where we are in Detroit as far as church is concerned, where other states are, because we are behind the times.
Yeah.
I worked directly with my church when I was there. And when we would have meetings, we would talk about how Michigan or Detroit is 10 years behind what is going on out here in the world. You know what I'm saying? Churches should have outreach. Churches should have therapy or therapists on their registry that people can call. Churches should have food banks. Churches should have these things because people need these things.
Correct.
And that is a problem as well. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the film spoke on that, but
yeah, because that's all I was like, is that like a little fun Easter egg that may have just happened?
I mean, it's just being so heavily deep in church.
Yeah.
And knowing the things that we were trying to make happen and going to big churches in the city and seeing the things that they had available, mediators, therapists, outreach for for battered women. You know, all of those things are needed because all of those things are real, and you can't pray those things away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
have
saying?
to diligently work towards a place that can get you better. And what you do is you ask for the strength and the guidance and the people around you, because those are the things that I believe that as much as you try to have control over, it's really hard to. And that's when you ask for the help, you know, and that's when you pray. But in terms of just the actual like due diligence of saying, I am going to do something about this, it starts right here. It starts within you. What it makes me feel like, Antoine, like, okay, yes, the end finds out that this has just been possibly some just like total play on, wow, he's taken all the people from this
What he
war,
normally sees, and
yes, and created this world of himself. But was there some truth to some of those things? Like, because I think that's a huge stigma in mental health, is that, oh, they was always crazy. They never could be in reality and never had a dose of reality. Were we seeing a glimpse of his life?
or
Because
the version of his life as he saw it.
yes,
It was definitely a version of his life as he saw it, because it was from his point of view.
Yeah, it's just that he just so happened put the characters playing it were just so happened the people that were actually around him.
I mean, but his mom seemed like she was an MFer. His dad seemed like and you know, when I saw the scene of him saying him going to her, coming in the house, saying what she was saying to him, saying what she was saying, she obviously was in this for the long game. She was in this not to work. She was in this to be a house mom. She was in this to say, my man is this, and my man, because her man was handsome. He was in the army. He probably had it all going for him. And then something happened while he was in the army.
Yep.
That made her have to become the breadwinner. I mean, she had on a Burberry scarf. She drove a nice car. They had a nice house. So whatever, you know, happened to him happened. And because of that, she was jaded, because now she had to do things that she didn't want to do. And because he was a man, and she knew he was a man and a strong man, in order to make him feel what she felt, the hurt that she felt, she chose to demasculate him or emasculate him, because she knew that that would hurt him. So when he went upstairs and he talked to Anton and told him he believed what he was saying, also because that was something he was going through himself, because this is, you know, because schizophrenia is something that can be passed down, but it's also something that can be developed by doing drugs and things of that nature. So with that being said, this was something that's in his genealogy. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, he knew what son was going through. So he was more receptive to it. But soon as he had that conversation with his son, I said in my head, she's not going to listen to anything she's saying.
No, she's not trying to hear that,
because she's the head of household. And you ain't shit to me. So with that being said, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you're trying to do, because it's your fault that I have to do all of this.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what Anton says. I don't care what y'all saying. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So that scene is heartbreaking in itself.
Truly.
But then he wake up and he like, you know, freaking out. But, you know what I'm saying?
Good question. Do you believe that the father did something really bad to the mom? Because you see it, you know, like the mom is.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But my thing is this too. I'm not saying, because I like horror and I like, you know, so I was one step saying from Anton was killing everybody. But he was in my opinion, he was one step away. He was one step away.
from being just like a straight up like Dexter. Like,
yeah, because what's the plan, Jonas? What is the plan? A jab stab? What is the plan, Jonas? You gonna kill old dude and take his place in the fellowship? What's the plan, Jonas? You gonna kill mama and take her dang on social security check?
Right. Like, what you gonna like put baby girl in a goddamn, what's the chokehold from behind, like that? Like,
you know, and chloroform her. What is the plan, Jonas?
What is the plan?
He never said what the plan was, and that's why it was easy for me to go to murder.
Yeah. No, I have to say there were a couple moments where I was like, is somebody about to die? Like, who's about to die, bro? Like, is it gonna be the like kind, cool guy from the store? Or like, who is it gonna be? Like,
the girlfriend, like but cool, not girlfriend.
Oh, the girlfriend, not girlfriend.
You know who I thought was gonna die? I thought Dre was gonna die. The guy who had the house party. I thought he was gonna kill him.
Oh man.
I thought he was gonna kill him.
Yo, shout out to Dre. Shout out to all the Dre's in the world who, like, it's that one guy that's like, you kind of cool with him. You always want it, or that one friend that you always want to come out and be real cool.
I feel like that's a Detroit thing, though. No, like, totally. That's a Detroit thing,
like,
though.
Bruh, like, dog,
like, tripping. Everybody know him.
Yeah,
but ain't nobody ever been up his house.
But yeah, yes. And it's like, shout out to Dre, like, just being like a responsible individual who's like, bro, he tripping. He not going nowhere. Y'all see, we can't do nothing about it. So I think what everybody else need to do is just go home. And bro man can just like kick it right here. Cause I agree. I thought that it was lights out for Dre. I was like, bro man about to wake up out his sleep. And he about to do what his daddy did. He about to do. He was about to kill him. Daddy did. I thought he was gonna kill him. It's really like I thought that was about to be like the huge climax of the film.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be he gonna get over Dre's house and he gonna get mad at Dre. He's gonna kill him.
Somebody.
I just knew he was gonna kill somebody.
Really pushed him there. I thought he was gonna kill. Like, again, thought he was gonna really like hurt old girlfriend. That's not girlfriend, but. Man, once I was like, oh snap. So I love the pacing of it, the way that you're just kind of like strung along with this idea of like, there is somebody in the background that we cannot see. We can hear them, but we cannot see them. We cannot feel them. Like, it was times where I didn't even know when Jonas would pop up. It just, Jonas would just be there, and it would just be this voice, and would just be this person that's just there. And do you feel that like that's enough to really display mental illness? Like, you know, being a fan of like psychological thrillers, do you feel that that mysteriousness of it all is enough to explain to the audience that this is the way it feels? Or do you believe that's what usually people aren't trying to really like put you there? I mean, my question is all over the place because I'm unsure, you know, but like it just makes me, maybe this is a better question for the director, writer, Charles Kennedy, but like, what do you feel when, because schizophrenia seems to be like the easy, I'm sorry, it sounds disrespectful. Mm-hmm. But when people like make film about mental illness, they usually like lean towards schizophrenia. Why do you think that is something that people, it's just something that people,
because a lot of people suffer from schizophrenia. Mm-hmm. It's not even, I don't even think that it's easy. I just think that schizophrenia is something you can live with your whole life and nobody would ever know, depending on how bad it is. I mean, you can fully, you know how you got functioning alcoholics and mm-hmm. you can fully function. He was a fully functional adult.
Yeah.
His crisis was internal. And if it wouldn't have if he would have listened to Jonas his whole life, who knows where he would have been? But we'd have just thought that was Anton because he would have never told on Jonas.
Yeah.
Now, maybe if he killed somebody, he would have said the devil made me do it. The cat made me do it. Jonas made me do it. And then we would have to figure out who Jonas is. And then he'd tell us, for my whole life, I've been hearing a voice in my head, and I never told anybody, because when I told my mama, she told me I was crazy. When I told my daddy, he beat up my mama. You know what I'm saying? But that is something that you can live with. You can, I know somebody who, a nurse, got a kid. She's schizophrenic.
Yeah.
If she don't take her medicine, it's a wrap. But she don't like taking her medicine because, and this is why a lot of them don't take their medicine, because in this case for Jonas, it was because he felt like he needed, for Anton, he felt like he needed Jonas. So he didn't take his medicine because Jonas had manipulated him to believe that he was not a good enough man or person to function without him. So in turn, he didn't want to, because if you notice the first 30 minutes of the movie, the man is by himself, but not by himself. He is making himself be by himself.
Yeah.
But then you find out everybody knows him. Everybody cool with him. He probably grew up in this neighborhood. He probably been living here his whole life. You know, why does he want to isolate himself? So he did that purposely because he had a friend in the background. You know, with that being said, that's the job of that voice. So I just think that schizophrenia is not one of the easiest, but one of the most common mental illnesses that people know about. Yeah. It's plenty other stuff going on with people. It's plenty other stuff, but pretty much, and I'm not going to say everybody knows somebody who's schizophrenic, but everybody has seen a schizophrenic person, or at least probably have, even if you didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? Schizophrenia could be as simple as hearing a voice or hearing voices that want to kill people. You know what I'm saying? It's different levels of that. And I think that, that's all I had to say.
Yeah, no, you make a great point.
That's my thought.
I guess I never thought about it like that. I enjoy my thrillers, and man, you throw the psycho part in it, and it takes it up a notch, right? And it's just like you said, I am trying to figure out what is going on and what is really happening. And my favorite thing about that is when I can't figure it out like ASAP, I just join in. Which is I just join in where it's like, well, okay, well,
I have to figure it out.
Bruh man really is sitting up here talking to himself, and okay, we know who the voice is. They're Jonas, and wow, they infiltrate any type of way, because let me tell you right here, that creepy scene when he's done talking to the writer guy
and writing
have fun while it lasts.
And I was just like, Jonas, what is that even supposed to mean? Shut up.
Right. Just like,
and
he is really trying to do his best, just
to
like
get you to stay stagnant and be right where you are, so you won't stop hearing me.
Because if you the scene where he's like talking back to Jonas, and then Jonas like says something, and he's like, "Yup, like I'm doing it. What you gonna do about it?" Like, like I'm here. You thought I wouldn't be?
And but that's the thing. Like, if you progress, if you take your medicine, if you do all these different things that they're telling you to do, eventually the voices will sound like how our voices sound in our heads. And they don't want that. Because they're alone. Because they're in your head. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Theoretically, we're out here, we're living our lives, we're doing our thing. Jonas is in his head. He's a voice in his head. He can never touch, he can never feel, he can never see, he can never go wherever Anton doesn't allow for him to go. Right. So if he takes his medication, stops listening to him, cuts him off, shuts him off, where does he go? Yeah. What does he do? You know what I'm saying? He does not get to experience life.
Right.
So he doesn't want him to cut him off.
Yeah, so let me steal these moments from you. Let me
manipulate you to believe that I'm stronger, that I'm better. Let me come to the forefront and be the leader, so I can experience love, so I can experience joy, so I can experience all these things, because we're separate people to me. In my mind, you're you and I'm me. And because of you stand in the way of me living. And I want to live. I don't want you to kill me. I don't want you to take your pills. I want you to allow for me to live. And if you live, then I can't, because we can't live in the same body.
Damn.
I watch a lot of
Yeah, you
because
broke
I
that
felt like
down.
he was one step away from what do you call it? Multiple personality disorder.
Yeah, and so that's to on the more like, I guess I've never seen Shutter Island. So of course immediately after I watch this, I start like digging into like what are all the like movies about mental health, and you know, you have the list of movies, and a lot, one movie that really surprised me that was on a particular list was it was Breakfast Club, which in my head, I'm like, no. But then I'm like, yes.
I don't know. I
Like,
don't forget that film.
really? Oh,
No, I
man.
don't like that
Breakfast
movie.
Club is amazing. But like, when you really like break it down to the emotional factor to a lot of people, from the bullying to the things that happen at home, you do really understand why some people just don't all have it, like, and why some people look at others like, what's wrong with you? Like, and of course it's in the beginning, it's just like a lot of stereotypes and stuff like that, but people, when you come from abusive homes and like there's emotional issues with like parents and families, and like you really start to think like,
Yeah, we are all
every
scarred. We
we're
are all
all scarred, we
scarred.
all have reasons like to
We
be
all
hurt, and
Everybody go through a little bit of depression every
yeah,
now and again. For
yeah.
some, it's worse. And for those who it gets that bad, they need to seek assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, everybody don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody can't. Everybody don't feel like they can.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate part, especially in the Black community, but all around, about how mental illness works. It isolates you and it makes you feel like nobody loves you, nobody cares about you, nobody wants you here, nobody wants to be bothered with you. You're nothing, you're not good enough. That is the work of the enemy. And it reminds me of this. He said that his favorite film, when he met with the
Oh yeah.
he said his favorite film was Citizen
Citizen
Kane.
Kane.
And I said, when he said it, before the man could even say what he said, I said, that movie is sad as hell. Like, that's exactly what I said. I was like, that
I've never
movie is
seen
sad as
Citizen Kane,
hell.
but I only know about the one scene. Like, Ma made it, and it is from the scene in Juice. And who was the wildest and craziest of them all, of the bunch? Tupac's character.
Wait, I don't know the reference.
Oh, Lord have mercy. The movie Juice with Omar Epps, the young Omar.
I know the movie. I don't know the reference.
Oh, well, in the movie, in the movie Juice, Tupac's character, is his name Shepard? I can't remember his name right now. Forgive me. He's watching, I believe he's watching Citizen Kane, and it's the part of Citizen Kane where he's like, Mom, I'm on top of the world. Like, it's one of the wildest moments, or like the peak of Citizen Kane. And it was just ironic that was the film that it sounds like dude like glorified. And he was one of the wildest of the group. You know, he was the so-called crazy character. And I think that's another film that was like, maybe he has some issues.
Well, so let me because I watched Citizen Kane. I find it. So Citizens Kane is a film that is still at the top of the AFI list as one of the best films ever made. Mm-hmm. Orson Welles directed, wrote, and starred in the film. He was not a film person. He read books and he made a movie, and he changed the way people looked at film. That's what he did. That's Orson Welles. That's Citizens Kane. That's why it's still up there, because it was a guy who didn't even know anything about films. He read some books and then he made a movie and he started and he wrote it. Okay. Dang. The movie is about a man who gets sold by his mother to a man who owned a rail company, and he goes to the best schools. He has the best education. He does all of this, but he's never happy because he didn't want any of this. He dies, and his last words are Rosebud. He isolates himself from everyone he knows in his old age. He cannot cultivate lasting and strong relationships. He's the most hated man in the world. All of these things. He loses all his money before he dies. He's built this big castle that he sits in, and he isolates himself from everybody. And his last words are Rosebud. Russ Rosebud. The whole movie is about a reporter going around the world, meeting everybody he's ever known and ever met, trying to figure out why his last words was Rosebud. Sadly, at the end of the movie, nobody figured it out. And you want to know why? Because Rosebud was the name of the sled that he rode at the beginning of the movie when his mother sold him.
Wow.
Sad. Made me wonder, though, why that's his favorite movie. Is it because Kane was isolated and by himself and alone for the better part of his life and could never cultivate real relationships? Not because he suffered from mental illness, but maybe in a way he did suffer from something because he was scarred because his mother sold him when he was a child. So it made me wonder why is Citizens Kane his favorite movie, but also why the other dude's favorite movie is Pan's Labyrinth, because that movie is traumatizing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Like, it just sound like a sad.
And that could be me reaching. You know what I'm saying? That could be me reaching, but it just made me wonder why his favorite movie was Citizen Kane, especially since he suffered from mental illness. And he was a man who couldn't cultivate relationships and things of that nature, and he died alone with nobody knowing his real story, his real wants.
Maybe Bishop wasn't watching Citizen Kane in that movie then. I may be mistaken then.
But yeah, so I mean, that was the only other thing that I saw in that movie that was like, I wonder, you know. And I already spoke about my little Wizard of Oz moment at the end. But no, I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed you know, that conversation being brought to light in the Black community.
Yes.
And I enjoyed it because it actually made me go back and think about all the films I love that deal with that, like Fight Club, like this movie called The Voices, like even like Doom Patrol. There's a superhero on the show who suffers from schizophrenia and multiple personality disorder, and she has all of these different people inside of her, and everyone has a different superpower, and in different moments she exhibits when she feels like, but herself, who she is really, you rarely get to see her because she was abused by her father when she was a child. Or what's the other thing that I was thinking about? I watch a lot of stuff that deals with that, and it just made me want to go rewatch all that stuff because I enjoy that. Not enjoy watching somebody suffer, but I enjoy getting a better understanding of like what somebody who is going through that is going through. So I like watching stuff like that. I mean, you know, I watch movies about serial killers. Serial killers are people who are suffering from a mental illness. They literally don't have an empathy portion in their brain. Like they're lacking that. It's missing. They can't comprehend those things. So it's interesting to watch this movie and then make me go want to watch Dexter and Mindhunter and all these different things, because that's my zhuzh. That's where I live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow. That's beautiful to hear. I mean, look, I think the greatest thing about cinema is the ability to watch something and it really does just like sit with you, whether it's in your like true reality and or for someone like you, just makes you just want to indulge in all the things that you love in that like certain genre. And me too. I really enjoyed it. It's, first of all, I think it's sometimes easy to say like you like your homie stuff, right? Like at least on the surface, right? Like, oh yeah, my friend made that. I like it. This for real, like threw me for an absolute, like just threw me for a loop. Like I could not believe that this was the true outcome. Like,
when I was watching, I was like, I know this through Toya foot. I was sitting there like Toya was at the end, like, what? Like, I was just sitting there like, she is probably just blown away. But y'all gave it away for me with that damn gray shirt. I couldn't, it didn't sit with me. That shirt didn't sit with me.
Isn't that so beautiful? Like the art of film, the art of cinema, like it is somebody who is going to, see the opening scene and be like, nope, he the killer.
That's me.
Nope. He in the war. He crazy. Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Soon as that opening dream sequence, I was like, somebody is in the mental institution. Something is going on.
It is.
Who is it?
Not once did I ever think that was happening.
Yeah, no, I was.
Are there any other like questions or like last like thoughts that you have about like watching Affliction?
I'm just glad he got the help. I mean, I'm glad I kept saying, did he kill his mama? Because they didn't say he did, but he didn't. He could get out. So obviously he couldn't have killed her, because if he killed her, then he wouldn't have been telling him that he could get out. So that was one thing. But no, I'm good. I mean, I thought the movie was good. I thought the way it ended was good. I thought the way it came around, it was like, oh, I thought that was good.
Yes.
I just want to kind of know how badly he injured his mom, and was the father really in there with him? I mean, those are the only two things.
Ooh, that's a good question. Because of course, like, it starts to make you think, was like that the only real moment in this film? Like, was that the only moment that was actually not something that was fabricated?
But it looked fabricated from our point of view, because we were supposed to think that he was real in the real world and his dad was a dream, when in actuality maybe he just bumped into him in the hallway or something, and that was how he saw it.
Oh shit, now it makes me think like, now, okay, I know we spoke shortly about this, like the idea of schizophrenia being something that's like passed down, but obviously he was hearing things and his father noticed that. But was that possibly the answer to like, did he hurt his mother? What if the answer was yes? Was that like a turning point?
Well, I believe mama put daddy away and then put son away too. I just think that I think she put them both away. But what damage had been done to her in the process, I don't know. Because in my mind she dead, but I know she ain't dead because the script says differently. Because of the time frame. Because if he was dead, he told him to get out, and so if he could get out, then he didn't kill her. I just wanted somebody to die, and I'm sorry, but
you're like, y'all hit all the other marks other than death. Somebody had to die. Well, my question now is, who you think should have died?
Mama.
Who?
Mama.
The mom?
Mama. Yeah.
Should have choked her out real nice.
Yes.
Instead of just the push at the end, like.
Yeah, no, But I think the actual person that would have died is sister. I think mama should have died, but I think if somebody would have died, it would have been sister.
I agree. That because she, as disappointed as she was or angry as she was, it was just like you said, like she still loved and supported him at the end of the day. And so she would have been the innocent person that's like
that said something wrong in that moment.
Yes.
But he took it wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Because now that we know what the real is, right? And so we find out like the person not in the dream sequence that who plays his mother, his real mother, but like the fake mom who was a nurse, the fake sister that is a nurse. I feel if that's the way he was playing things out.
What if sister did get killed because mom never acknowledged her?
So what you're saying is that he actually did have a sister?
I mean, yeah, but like something happened to her. That's why mom never, because when they really
because why would he make this nurse?
Well, she did acknowledge her. My bad. I just want somebody to die. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I just really want somebody to die.
But I mean, in this world, we can have that fun. We can have that fun. Like, And I'm not trying to diminish like mental illness down to like entertainment, but let's be honest, like cinema, the arts, this is entertainment, and obviously entertainment with a message. But
that's why nobody died.
Yeah,
and that's why. And I get
right.
that. But I think everybody gonna die and everything. I'm watching whatever I'm watching. I'm like, pow!
Oh man!
Bam!
Oh, my favorite thing to imagine is car scenes, and when they do the
infamous, it's like, oh!
Why they showing the outer environment? Cause some car about the motherfucking smash.
Yeah.
Nope. No, they just driving down the street.
No, and I'd be like, oh, they not gonna kill? Okay.
Oh man.
All right.
Well,
okay.
To all our beautiful friends and family out there that are watching our Two Snaps in the Circle family, please make sure that you get onto Vimeo on demand and you rent Affliction. One more day. You got tonight and tomorrow. So one more day. Get your asses over there, rent Affliction, support an indie film, support some like Black creators from the city, and yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. I mean, you know, we the plug, so we got the link. Really? But I definitely imagine myself not only watching this again, but wanting more and seeing more from Charles, and I'm excited for what he has coming up next. And so, you know, just stay on your toes, people, because there's things to come.
Yes, yeah. I agree. And I just wanted to say thank you, Charles.
Yes.
For allowing us to watch your film and review your film. It had me up. Like, that movie really awakened something in me, because it brought up so many other films that I love dealing with the same issues. And I have watched 2 other films this week. I watched Citizen Kane because I was trying to figure out the correlation. And I watched a movie that I felt was parallel, not in all ways, but in some ways, about another character that dealt with mental illness. And I appreciate that, because it's rare that you watch a film that makes you want to watch more films. And yes, and that does not diminish the film that I watched. It just got me super hyped and like enthused to be like, I love films like this. Like, when did I stop watching films like this? Like, I need to watch
that's more. A great quality in a film that I think that, just like you said, some people would probably take as shade or like, what, you didn't like it? It makes you just want to go see something else. No, I think that that's an amazing quality to have in a film, where it's like, I mean, again, it's, I you know, I love a good sports metaphor. Is every time I used to see somebody hoop, it just made me want to go play basketball. And so I think that that is the best thing that you can receive from something in somebody's piece of art, is inspiration or like aspiring to go do something else along the lines of that. So kudos to you.
So with that being said, there's a film where our quote comes from this week that I had to go back and watch after watching this film. It's called The Voices. It stars Ryan Reynolds and Anna Kendrick. And it is about a young man who is dealing with mental illness. He has a job, he has a cat and a dog, and he talks to his cat and his dog. And the dog is the good version of him, and the cat is the bad version of him. He killed people. He did kill people. But in the scene that the quote comes from, it's after he admitted to his therapist that he killed 3 people and he knew he was wrong, but he felt like he had to do what the voices were telling him. So he kidnapped his therapist and he took her out to the wilderness and he asked her why he heard voices. And I mean, basically, to set up the scene, she told him that, you know, we all hear voices. We all hear voices that tell us that we're not good enough, that our job isn't good enough, that we should be doing more, that we're not ever going to be anything, that we need to do this, or we should do that, or we should drink more, or smoking more, or just indulge more and do whatever you want, or don't go to work, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
And basically she's saying, but like, just because a voice is telling you to do something, that doesn't mean you have to do it. And he is blown away by that concept because he takes everything literal, because he suffers from schizophrenia.
Yeah.
So the line that, and I mean, I feel like I need to say both of these lines, so I'm gonna say them both.
Yeah.
So the therapist basically says, you know, he asks her, you know, what can I do to combat what I'm going through? How do I turn the voices off? And she basically says, well, I can't shut them off entirely, nor would I want to, but I can't argue against them. Just because you have thoughts doesn't mean you have to act on them. And he's basically like, you don't have to act on them. And she says, this is the real quote here, guys. Listen to this. Hear this. No, being alone in the world is the root of all suffering. But Jerry or Anton, you're not alone. And when I watched that movie, and I mean, it was just like I was in a binge, and sometimes I binge on movies about serial killers, and sometimes I binge on movies about different things. And that was the time where I was binging on movies about serial killers, and I found this movie with Ryan Reynolds' beautiful self in it, and he was playing a serial killer, but really he was playing a character who was suffering from schizophrenia. And that line, that is always something that I think about in the back of my mind. Like that movie and that line has always stuck with me since I watched that movie. And I think that Anton just needed somebody to tell him that, and for him to believe that, and for them to say it for real and mean it for real, for him to realize that. Because this guy, Jerry, he had nobody. He had no mom. He had no sister. He had no friends. He had no family. All he had was his cat and his dog. But Anton had friends. He had a girl that was interested in him. He had people that thought that his work was good. He had things going for himself. And I just think if somebody really, not his sister, not his mom, if somebody really would have set him down and told him that, I think that would have helped him. That would have made him realize that Jonas was not somebody that he needed in his life.
Yeah.
Because the reason why Jonas kept winning is because he kept making him feel like he was by himself.
Yep.
I'm done now.
Drops mic. Drops mic. Yeah. Really, really enjoyed the film. I agree with a lot of what you said, and I couldn't have said it better. So I'll let you speak because you are the one. I knew you were gonna enjoy this. Like, I mean, you talking about over there like Toya, I know she's gonna be like, ah! I was like, I know she go what would they want. I know she go like this.
Yes, I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah. So again, thank you to Charles for letting us film for watching your amazing film and review it on our show, on our live. We appreciate everybody that came out today to holla at us. You know, the homies, Stacy, Clark Dove, like who else came up?
Dash Weiser came.
Dash Weiser, of course, can't forget the homie Dash.
Rail 7, Rail 7,
not close.
And thank you for the biddies.
Thank you for the biddies, baby. Biddies. We need all the biddies.
Right. And Toya, you know, tell them what you got going on right now.
I mean, as always, I'm over on my IG just dropping hella selfies, photo dumps from the shit I be doing on the weekend because you know I've been outside more often now. So as always, over on Point of View Finder, sharing amazing photographers from the local from around the city, and yeah, just being a player, a boss ass bitch as usual.
Well, everybody, you know, you can follow me on Instagram at Esther Superstar. You can follow the Twitchy as Chevy the Superstar. Please subscribe to Two Snaps in a Circle on YouTube. And also, I have started TikToking, guys. I have 4 TikTok videos and I don't plan on stopping. I really like it. It's really freaking cool, man.
I'm getting ripped tonight. Oh,
I'm not doing that.
yeah.
I'm not doing that. No,
Come on. I'm about
that.
to, me and Chevy.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't even get it. I don't even know what the point. Anyway, guys, follow me on TikTok. Hey. Chevy Superstar.
Period. Oh, also
writer on TikTok as well.
I gotta say this too, though. Like, check our social media because we done upgraded and got a schedule. We already know what we're watching for the month of June.
Yes, next week we are watching Booksmart.
Booksmart. It's on Hulu. Hulu?
Yes,
it's on Hulu. It's on the Hulu.
Yes, Booksmart. So, guys, if you want to watch along and join the conversation, please do. And yeah, I mean, I think we've covered a lot of ground tonight.
I believe so.
Discussed the film. We did movie news. We told y'all what we're doing with our lives, and we talked about the Detroit summer. So I think that we can successfully say that this is a concluded stream. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for actively watching and being here. Any lurkers, thank you for lurking. And we will see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 2 snaps and a circle.